Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are headed back to our local co-op to weld on a fertilizer truck. And we're also going to be learning about some graffiti paint. This is some new paint that I've just recently heard about that I'm super excited about, especially for the fertilizer industry. So stay tuned for that. And ultimately, we're going to be learning about some magnetized stainless. I know, I had no idea either. So stay tuned, get ready to learn. Enjoy the video. For those of you who may not have known this, a lot of times as a welder, whenever we approach something and we're questioning whether it's stainless, mild steel, or other, we will take a magnet to it. And 90% of the time, at least from my experience, if it's magnetized, it's mild steel, which is just your run-of-the-mill steel. If it's not magnetized, normally it's stainless steel, aluminum, or something else that's not normally magnetized. Just wanted to let you know in case you were not aware. All right, today we're back at the co-op and we're gonna weld this bar right here onto this thing. This thing as in a fertilizer box. They spread fertilizer with this deal, and we've been doing a lot of work to a few of their trucks and whatnot, and this deal here is what the spinners ride on. There's some bearings that go here, some shafts that go up. Well, you can see one of them right here. Shaft that goes up to these motors, and the spinner. These are the spinners. They spin, but they mount to this deal. So what I've got to do, what I've decided is it's going to be so much easier to cut these off of this and weld this onto this right here. You can tell it's been cut and welded on. That's because that's what used to be right there, is this bar. So first thing we got to do is cut these off of the bar, and then clean those up a little bit. Lift this up, get her situated, make sure everything lines up with our spinners, and weld it on. And then the other project is we got to build a little stand for this eyewash station for their chemical area over there where them electricians are working. That's where that goes. But first focus is this guy right here. Boy, that's tough. Cutting on this new paint. See, one day, whenever I have a different welding rig, I imagine like a nice big space on the back of my welding rig, or like maybe a welding trailer or something, a nice area to set something like this up on it to where I can work on it without walling around on the ground on my knees, see? So, I've talked about in the past, for those of you that may not know, about I'm excited to build my next welding rig that's not built for pipeline, because I'm a practical kind of fella. So this is one of those situations where I wish I had a table, you know, high enough to do my sanding standing up. All right, now that we got this cleaned up, I need to clean up what's on the bed here. By the way, this is what they've been calling graffiti paint. This and this, I'm pretty sure, was all painted with graffiti paint, and it clogged up my sanding pad. It took me way longer to sand that, and it still didn't get, you know, I didn't spend the time to get it as clean, because it just kept, I'd get it clean, but then I'd go another round and it would, you know, spread back over where I was sanding. So anyway, it's really good paint. Word on the street is you're supposed to be able to spray paint this stuff and then take your hand and just wipe that spray paint off. The reason the co-op is trying it is because fertilizer is real bad on steel, especially mild steel. We'll take a look over here at one that's got fertilizer in it, and it's real bad on steel, and it'll pit it a lot faster and whatnot. So they want to try this new paint to try to make their stuff last longer. I'm excited about it. I hope it works great. I really do. It'd be a good thing for the fertilizer industry. Some of you might be thinking, what about stainless? Interesting fact about stainless. For one, yes, that's a great idea, and a lot of these companies that build these fertilizer tubs and truck beds and stuff, and buggies and all the stuff for fertilizer, they do build them out of stainless nowadays. So that's one good option. This company here, whoever, Simpson, they actually, this looks like stainless whenever it's all clean, like down here in the train, or in the chain track, it looks like stainless, but we put a magnet on it and it's not stainless. And after a little bit of research from Kyle up there at Stillwater Steel, because I got to talking to him about it, if he had ever heard of magnetized stainless, and he hadn't, but he got to Googling it, just like any of us could do. And we learned about a 400 series stainless, which is magnetized stainless. And turns out, or from the research we done, it was actually more expensive than stainless. More expensive and not as tough. Won't last as long as a more pure stainless. And so I thought to myself, and I even asked Kyle, I was like, why would a company spend more money on a material that is not as tough? And the only thing that I could come up with, this is not facts, I have not done any research, made no phone calls whatsoever, know very little, as much as you do about 400 series stainless right now. And the only thing I could come up with is the production standpoint. Maybe this 400 series is a lot easier to weld, maybe it doesn't draw as bad, maybe it's faster, maybe you know, you don't have to have as qualified welders to weld it. Again, I can't know any of these things, but I just, in my head, putting two and two together, I think about stainless and how it sugars on the back, and that's not good for whenever you're mass producing something that you want to look nice. Maybe it's possible that you don't get any sugaring with the 400 series, maybe it doesn't draw as bad. So maybe what I'm saying is, overall, in the long run, they spend more money on a material, but it's faster to produce because of the issues in welding it, and maybe even cutting it. Yeah, cutting it is a whole other issue that I just thought of. Didn't think about that earlier, but I would love to hear from you. If you know anything more about 400 series stainless, let us know down in the comments. I would love to learn more, and I'm sure others would as well. I just had an idea, a little old idea popped into my head. I'm gonna burn the paint off since it's such a mean paint. There it is. Hoses were empty. Oh yeah, much better. So we got 13 tight, but I'm going to add a 1/2 inch. So 13.5 by 15. 13.5 by 15. See, this here, another reason we need a different welding rig. Down here walling around on our knees again. Oh my Lanta. 20.5, 20 3/8. Not too bad now. Be tacking with 1/8 80/10. Breaker, 1/9er. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Got her all tacked up. You betcha. Kind of tight in here. Kind of tight. Just gotta square up this bottom part now. Oh, hootin' tootin'. This side's square, but this side needs to come down a little. Hootie patootie, 40-foot noogie. Go ahead and tack this one off. Let's give her a dry fit before we cut that tack. May not cut it. Come on. Yellow. May just not cut it. Oh yeah. You bet. I ain't gonna worry about cutting it, fellas. Right there is just, I mean, pristine. Pristine. You betcha, boys, you betcha. Rinse out my eyes.
You bet. I've never used one of these. I've seen these a couple of places I've worked, but never had to use one, thankfully. They call this their chemical room. It's just a little metal building. And they got grays on in here. I guess I asked questions to the fellow that was helping me with that fertilizer truck. His name's Brent, and grays on. I've heard of it, but I couldn't remember what it was, so he told me. And it's some type of weed killer. It kills the weeds, but it doesn't kill the... They mix it with the fertilizer. That way you're fertilizing your ground and killing your weeds, but your good grass stays there. Won't kill the good grass, just the weeds. So anyway, for safety reasons, they wanted this eyewash station in here. You bet. Safety, insurance reasons, all the above, liability reasons. Come on. Hello. How about it? How about it? Breaker 19 radio check. Alright, what else? I don't know that I really need to do anything else. I really don't. I really don't think there's much else to do other than remove this and run some welds on here. Alrighty. Alrighty, tatty patty. Welded out. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Very, very satisfying. Simple little project. Makes the heart sing. Done got our welding car rolled up. Now it's time to head on to the next one.
On to the next one, as in the loft. If you missed last week's video, we picked up 2 different bundles of material for 2 different projects, the boat dock project and the loft project. I believe the loft is going to come next, unless that's what I got scheduled next. I'll just say that. So on to the next project is what I mean. So I hope you're looking forward to that. If you missed last week's video where we played truck driver, head on over and check that video out. And thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you're checking out the comments right now to see what others know about 400 series stainless. And boy, do I love learning. I absolutely love learning. And for those of you that may have missed last week's video, also, lately I've been listening to motivational speakers like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, Brian Tracy. There's a couple more out there. And I just naturally learn things and get inspired myself, so I can't help but share a quote or two. So I want to share a quote with you today, which is, I believe Les Brown is who I heard this from. And it is, every day is not a good day, but there is good in every day. I absolutely love that. It goes right along with what I say about there's always a silver lining. I truly do believe that. Like that cough. Been under the weather the last couple of days. Ain't got any good sleep, but there's a silver lining. Let's find the silver lining and not feeling good. Well, that's tough when you put me on the spot like that. That's tough. What is the silver lining and having a cough and not feeling good. The silver lining is, I know I can think of it. I can think of positives. The cliche, it could be worse. That's a silver lining. You know, I could be laid up. I could be, you know what I mean, like not being able to walk around. I could be, there could just be a lot of worse things, but I'm trying to think of something else, like more, like what can I gain from this? Silver lining, okay, so like maybe I need to eat, take more vitamins. I do take some vitamins, but maybe take more vitamins, or maybe eat more healthy, or maybe I need to wash my hands. Like there's things I can learn to try to help my body, you know, fight things off a little better. Or maybe I need to get more sleep. You know, that's something I can learn from this, is like maybe I need to make sure I'm getting more sleep. Maybe I don't need to pack my schedule as full, you know, pack my calendar as full. And every time I think of stuff like this, for instance, the word balance comes to mind, because it really is a balance between, like, you know, we want to be productive. It's good to be productive. It's good to, you know, have discipline and try to get to our goals, and not, you know, relax too long, as Jim Rohn would say. But it's also like, you can get too busy and not ever rest, and packing your schedule full to where you're not thinking as clear. So it's, to me, I'm just constantly trying to find that balance. You know, I want to stay motivated. I want to stay moving forward. I want to, you know, up the content here on this YouTube channel. There's a lot of things I want to do, but I gotta take it one step at a time, you know, because it can be super overwhelming. You know, whenever you get motivated, I know for me, whenever I get motivated and hear inspirational things, I get excited and I want to go, do. And then I get sick like this, and I'm like, oh, maybe this is a sign that I just need to slow down a little bit. So I guess all that to say, the long-winded way to say is, the silver lining in this situation is some more self-awareness, which is just being conscious of what I'm doing every day, how much I'm doing, how late I'm working, when I'm shutting off my mind at night. Like there's things that I need to get better at as far as working myself mentally and physically. But mentally, we have learned, Kayla and I have learned through this YouTube channel and all the office work we do per se, like this, editing a video, filming for a video, planning, you know, all the planning and logistics, that is very, very mentally taxing, and your brain needs rest. So if you're not making sure you get enough rest, if you're doing a job like this, where, you know, like I always say logistics, I always generalize it as logistics, but yeah, that's one thing I've learned about the old office job, because I'm used to being out in the field, you know, whenever I was pipelining, and even growing up, that's all I ever knew was work, you know what I mean? Like I can get up early and work late for, you know, 6 days a week for a couple months, and like that's not, like I got used to that. That's how I was wired. That's how my body was conditioned. But whenever we started this YouTube thing, and I've been home the last 4 or 5 years doing more YouTube stuff and less service-based stuff, I've had to learn about the brain and how much rest it needs, and because I've been challenging my mental state and and whatnot. So I've been having to learn a lot about how much rest the brain needs. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have an awesome weekend. Don't forget to check out our website, arosswelding.com, and our online trade school, arosswelding.school, where you can find pipe fence course, quick rig course. Check those websites out if you think any of that will be helpful. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. And remember, learn something every day.